Sentire Media.
Welcome to the Stop Italian Sounding podcast, uncovering authentic Italian food. I'm your host, Robert Campana, and join me as we delve into the rich heritage of genuine Italian food, exploring its legends, history, and traditions. Through important tips and insightful interviews with industry professionals, you'll gain a deeper understanding of authentic Italian food. Welcome back, everyone, to the Stop Italian Sounding show, uncovering authentic Italian food. So, for today, I just wanted to respond to a comment that I generally hear that, of course, isn't meant to cause any arguments or discussion, but it's just a normal comment I get when talking about real Italian products versus Italian sounding products. And the comment usually goes like this: it's just food, it can't be protected. Or, wow, I didn't even know that it was possible to counterfeit food. So, first of all, yes, it is possible to counterfeit food. And secondly, food can be protected. So, let me explain myself. As I briefly talked about this in a previous episode, it really depends on what type of food we're talking about. If we're talking about general terms like pizza, mozzarella, apple, or bread, then no, of course, it's not possible to protect it against counterfeiting. Just because I make pizza, I'm really good at it, doesn't mean that you can't make it differently. You could still make it, and it's totally legal, obviously. Another example, non-food example, is this. It's like saying that I created a car and only I could produce cars because I was the first one to produce it. Doesn't make too much sense. However, if I create a certain car, let's just say something like a Ferrari, then yes, it can and should be protected from counterfeiting. That's because there are specific elements that go into making that Ferrari a Ferrari. You can't just create a red car, paint a horse on it, and call it a Ferrari. So, how does this even relate to food? Well, if we take a generic term like, let's say, mozzarella, it's generic because it refers to a type of cheese that could be made using various methods and from different types of milk, such as cow, buffalo, or even goat. Varieties of mozzarella, like fior di latte, are made from cow's milk and are produced in various places around the world. So, this broad usage allows for different styles and qualities of mozzarella, making it more of a category than a single, strictly defined product. Yes, of course, there are Italian sounding versions of mozzarella, but specifically speaking, Italian sounding products aren't illegal unless, of course, the intellectual property of the product is damaged. So, how would the intellectual property of a food product even be damaged? Well, staying on our example of the generic term mozzarella, if there is a specific designation of origin, then the rules are totally different. So, something like mozzarella di Bufala Campana DOP would be an example that is extremely protected. The DOP designation guarantees that the cheese is made in a specific area of Italy using traditional methods and 100% water buffalo milk. This protection, of course, preserves a unique flavor influenced by local conditions. It maintains cultural heritage, assures quality for consumers, and supports local farmers and the economy. So, let's get back to original analogy. Car is to mozzarella as Ferrari is to mozzarella di Bufala Campana DOP. A Ferrari is a type of car, while mozzarella di Bufala Campana DOP is a type of mozzarella. Anyway, I hope I'm not confusing you because, again, most people don't even think it's possible to counterfeit or protect food. They only basically relate counterfeiting mainly to high-end fashion. And to make even another example, a purse cannot be protected against counterfeiting. However, a Gucci purse can. Anyway, another comment I'd like to respond to is about things like tomatoes, for example. I often get comments that say, basically that tomatoes came from Mexico and therefore are not Italian. Well, historically speaking, that's accurate and 100% correct. And for that reason, we obviously cannot say that tomatoes are Italian because, well, they're not. Unless, of course, we are referring to a designation of origin. So, again, tomato is quite a generic term. However, a San Marzano tomato, or as it's known with its official name, Pomodoro San Marzano dell'Agro Sarnese Nocerino DOP, is not a generic term and is a product that is linked to a certain geographic area due to tradition, history, production, know-how, and especially terroir. It is impossible to produce the Pomodoro San Marzano dell'Agro Sarnese Nocerino DOP anywhere else in the world, so therefore it is protected. However, it is possible to grow tomatoes, in the general sense of the word, in many places of the world. Anyway, as we wrap up today's episode, I hope I was clear about explaining how certain food can and should be protected. Again, the analogy is this. Car is to mozzarella as Ferrari is to mozzarella di Bufala Campana DOP, or any other designation of origin for that matter. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the stories of authentic Italian cuisine. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast for more insights and interviews. Also, feel free to reach out with your thoughts or questions on our social media channels at Stop Italian Sounding or on our website stopitasounding.com. Grazie a tutti e alla prossima.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.